What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people.
WIFTBPM.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio, you're listening to The Bigs with Eugene, McIntosh, and Terrence Tomlin. Let's begin now.
Happy Sunday, everybody. You are officially tuned in to the Kickoff Kickback live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios, man.
It's happening.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
It's the first of the month.
I had to
Get up.
get it in, right? The calendar flips in
It's
November.
only right.
I hope y'all are ready for a good month. I know me and my brothers certainly are, man. I'm your man, Terrence Tomlin. Coming to you with my brothers, man, Eugene, McIntosh, the other half of the co-founders of the Bigs, and the one and only Herb Howard.
What's
one
happening?
half of I said what I said.
Man, it's November time. This one a good team start to separate themselves. Everybody can hang around in October. You want to play meaningful games when the calendar gets around Thanksgiving. We're gonna see if the Bears can position themselves to be able to do so.
Absolutely, and that weather is changing. You know, we're going to start hearing the term Bears weather.
Bears weather.
A lot more. It's definitely a little nippy outside today. The wind is gusting. And the guys are home this week. We're talking about a late afternoon matchup between the Bears and the Saints.
Yeah.
They got to get back on the winning side of things this week after taking an L, a nasty L on Monday
That was
night
embarrassing.
to the Los Angeles Rams. They got to get back on the right track, right?
Mars went out there to just kick a field goal.
Yeah, that's a long way to go for 3 points.
3 points. That's all they put on the board yesterday. But that left a bad taste in the guys' mouth. We're going to talk about if we feel like they're going to get back on the winning side of things. We got our guy, Joseph Lewis, who covers the Bears
Joe
for the
Lewis.
Bigs, who's going to be live from Soldier Field tonight. Coming to us live. He's going to be kicking it with us at the Kickback in just a few minutes.
Joe Lewis, 137 years old when he bought.
137 years old.
Yeah, Joe, we've been running it off, so we definitely looking forward to getting you on today. But we want to talk to the people real quick. How y'all feeling today? We're going to be taking our picks later on in the show.
Oh, I can already see my boy Remy been drinking. Remy say the Bears offense will wake up today.
That's that Halloween.
That's the Halloween hangover right
yeah,
there.
it's the Halloween hangover.
Was that a ha-ha after that, though?
I hope so. Listen, I want the Bears to get it together. I need the offense to get it together. But the fact is the defense outscored them last week. And you're just not going to win a lot of games like that. You talk about it being Bears weather now and time to play Bears football. Bears football is about running the ball. And we can't run the ball. So the weather changing, usually that's in our favor. But if we don't figure out how to run the ball, it ain't gonna really be in our favor.
I think that was the biggest takeaway from last week. Like we've been asking the Bears to run the ball. They had around 20 carries last week, and they still didn't even touch 70 yards. So what that says to me is, hey, they just can't run the ball, like you just said.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that,
hey man, you talking about running the ball? Why don't you go ahead and look on the other side and who's in the backfield today? Mm-hmm. And the Bears have been absolutely huff at stopping the run. Last week they let the Rams, who again, I can't tell y'all one of the Rams running backs, man.
These are facts.
Come on, bro. They had like 160 yards rushing last week. The Bears been absolutely huff stopping the run. And I think today may be the first time this season that the Saints are playing outdoors. So that could bode well for the brothers today. But also, I'm looking at Drew Brees, man, and I've been seeing a lot of Drew Brees is on his last leg talk. Mm-hmm. And
he is.
I've watched Drew Brees maybe 4 times this year. And I don't think I've seen him throw the ball down the field at all.
Yeah.
He definitely has not had his usual weapons. We know Michael Thomas ain't been there. Emmanuel Sanders.
Thank the Lord he's out again today.
Exactly. So Bears catching blessings already before the kickoff starts. So real quick, before we go any further, we got to lift them up and toast to the guys. It's a kickback. It's only right that you hear the janking of the toast to my brothers, man. Happy Sunday to y'all. But absolutely, man. The Bears, I feel like they got their hands full today.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears are banged up in key positions. When you talk about winning the game in the trenches, obviously, Gino was just talking about how porous we've been against the run lately. They gave 160-some yards last week. But even before then, they haven't really been defending the run all that well. And to me, that goes back to one thing: Eddie Goldman choosing not to play football this year. He set out with the COVID exemption, and I understand that. I respect his decision to maintain the health of him and his family. No problem there.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that on the field, it is costing the Bears dearly. He is one of the best nose tackles in the game. He's one of the very best run stuffers in the game, and his absence is certainly being felt. Then you go to the other side of the ball. You talk about not being able to run the ball. You lose Cody White here last week. He's not going to play this year. You got Sam Mustafa, who's going to make his first start in NFL ever. He was an undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame last year. Spent the entire season on the practice squad. He was activated maybe last week, got thrown into the game, and that's going to make his first start here. That doesn't bode well. We already lost left guard James Daniels for the season with a torn pec. So you got 2 guys in the middle of that in the middle of the offensive line that are replacing some guys. It doesn't bode well for us to be able to run the ball nor to stop Alvin Kamara today when you talk about the guys that we're missing in the trenches.
And then don't forget about the Charles Leno.
Oh my God. So
come on, bro.
Listen, this is why I can't wait till we talk to Joe, because I'm always tuned into like the press conferences, and every week is usually about 3 things I take away from the press conferences that strike me as interesting.
Okay.
And the 3 things that took away, sometimes they're good things, sometimes they're bad things. This week it was all bad things. All 3 of the things that I caught were bad. The first thing was it came from rookie wide receiver Darnell Mooney, who by all accounts is overachieving. He's a 5th round pick out of Tulane.
I already know what you're gonna say about the overthrow.
No, I do respect him for saying that. We can hit that later.
Yep.
I heard him say that they asked him about who is the guy that keeps the offense kind of upbeat when they get down on each other. Who's the guy that can kind of flip that switch and keep guys going? And his answer was Tariq Cohen. And while that's understandable, he's a high energy guy. He's fun. He keeps it loose.
Where is he now?
He's gone for the year. Yes. Right? You don't have that anymore. None of the other guys on that side of the ball are really that type of guy. Not at the quarterback position. Not your best player, Allen Robinson. He's a soft-spoken guy. There's nobody who can kind of rally the guys when they get down without Tariq Cohen. I found that to be really telling for him to be able to mention that.
Absolutely. You know what's interesting? Because I feel like if it wasn't Tariq Cohen, it used to be Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
He had that ability.
Yeah, he does have that ability. Sometimes I think Mitch Trubisky be like robotic with his like speeches and stuff, like he kind of like faking it, but at least he had something to try to get guys going, and nobody else on that side of the ball seems to have that. The second thing that I found to be sadly interesting was it came from Charles Leno, left tackle. They asked Charles Leno to assess his own play so far this year, and he said, "So far, so good."
Come on, man.
Even though we all been watching him get his ass kicked
every
for
week.
7 weeks, he said, "So far, so good." So you think you're doing a decent job, which
5-2, bro.
Yeah. That's what's disguising the foolishness.
And I feel like that went hand in hand to what Nagy was talking about in his time, saying, "Hey, let's not be negative. The media is trying to make it seem like we're 2-5 instead of 5-2." It's like, hold on,
We watching the same game you watching.
And there's been questions about this team after every game this season.
Yeah.
The sky isn't falling, but now it's definitely not all good. And if Charles Leno has the gall, if he has the audacity
to say that he's been playing good ball so far this year.
Come on, he's completely insulting our football.
It's disrespectful.
Intelligence.
It's disrespectful, man.
Did y'all expect him to say he was trash though?
Find a way around it.
I would expect him to say, "There's always things I have to work on."
Right, come with that one.
I'd have said, "Hey, bro, you watch the same game I do.
Make your own assessment."
Thank you, man. Because if you ask me,
that's not my job. That's my coaches.
5-2.
5-2. Listen, I'm happy that we 5-2. We can hang our head on that, right? You are what your record says you are. I'm all here for that. But the fact of the matter is, this offense has been anemic, right? For most of this season. I mean,
and that's generous.
Yeah, that's generous. Nick Foles came in and threw 3 touchdown passes in the comeback against the Falcons. Since then, we've only scored 3 touchdowns. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. The third crazy thing I heard was about the guy Sam Mustafa, who was making his first start at center. I heard everybody make comments about him, right? And the first thing out of all of their mouth was, he's real smart. Very intelligent guy. And that's fine, right? We can use the intelligence at the center position.
Go with that.
But I would like for the first thing to be said about my offensive lineman to be, he's a big, mean, nasty
tough
guy, tough, gritty. And then you can tell me how smart he is to make the calls and all that. But just that he's smart.
Maybe he can be a coach later on.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, go be smart somewhere else, fam.
He about to be in the trenches in a few hours, okay?
It's not looking good.
That's the overlay for the underplay, man. The old whoopty.
That's a fact.
Man, you know what, Herb? I feel like the injuries coming.
Hey, man,
the guys are going to be playing.
Time out.
What's
time
good,
out.
Gino?
Time out.
Talk to us.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
Time the fuck out. Excuse me. Man, what the hell is Ted Ginn Jr. on the team for, man?
Oh, my goodness.
Why is he on the team, bro?
My goodness.
I think that they activated a new punt returner today.
They signed Dwayne Harris, the dude who used to play for the Cowboys and the Giants.
So I feel like that spells the end of Ted Ginn Jr.
I would rather see Khalil Mack back there returning punts than Ted Ginn Jr.
I'm just picturing him walking off the field all last week. You saw the ball landing on the 5, and out of the corner of the screen, you see Ted Ginn Jr.
just walking off
the field.
I was supposed to field that.
Yeah,
my bad, fam.
Yeah, that is your job.
We might as well rush 11 at the punter every time.
Thank you.
If he gonna be back there doing that. Now, credit where credit is due. The punter from the Rams, Hecker, he did a phenomenal job.
One of the best games I ever seen.
My
from
God,
he was going ham.
He was placing that ball.
Yes.
That being said, bro, you can't just let it bounce on the 10 and the 5 and let us just get back up to the 1 every time. Fair catch it, field it, do something, bro. Save us at least 5-10 yards. Ted Ginn did nothing to help the Bears last week.
That's a huge thing to watch for today's game. Field position. Yeah. I feel like we got 8 up on with field position.
Every decision the Bears makes needs to be with the defense in mind. What can we do to help the defense on offense, on special teams? That's a field position game, right? You got to be able to punt the ball. You got to be able to cover punch. You got to be able to punt return, kick return. Help the defense with a special team, with a field position game.
I think something that you said it was perfect. All them guys need to do is make 4 or 5 plays throughout the game.
That's it.
To help the other side of the ball, man.
So my question is, how much is that really asking? Is that asking too much in this
apparently.
offense? Yeah. Allen Robinson is coming. He's fresh off a concussion protocol last night.
Okay.
He is playing.
Okay.
Darnell Mooney tore Jalen Ramsey up last night.
Cooked him.
Could have had 2 touchdowns.
Cooked him.
He didn't have any. So we got issues at the quarterback position.
Huh?
There are issues at the quarterback position.
Come on.
There are issues at the quarterback position. Nick Foles totally has some deficiencies. He can't get out the pocket safely.
I thought he was a little mobile. Was I mistaken on that?
Yeah, you were 100%.
I thought I remember him being like a little mobile. Not like
not at all anymore.
Not like Mike Vick, Steve Young mobile, but like, I don't know, like not a statue mobile.
That nigga is feet in the quicksand mobile.
My God, Absolutely. It's bad. It's bad.
Hey, man, I'm telling y'all now. Week 11.
Mitch is back?
Mitch is back.
Oh, come on.
Come on back, Mitchell.
That is the boldest, hottest take you're going to hear today. We better...
Come on back, Mitchell.
Unless Nick Foles ends up hurt, and that's what we don't want to see. We better never see Mitch Trubisky in a Bears jersey
I disagree with y'all, man.
I'd rather see, if this Nick Foles thing don't work out, I'd rather see them bring in somebody off the street who could be our quarterback next year. Because neither one of them 2 dudes going to be the quarterback next year.
What's fam that was always the 3rd string quarterback?
Tyler Bray.
Tyler Bray. Where is he?
Waiting in the wind.
Come on.
Waiting in the wind.
I'd rather see him
than Trubisky again.
I'd rather go Wildcat with
Damn.
CP.
Can Cordell Patterson throw the ball?
Let's go Wildcat with CP all day.
I don't ever want to see Cordero Patterson behind the
backfield no more.
offensive line ever again.
That's going to be interesting to see. We saw Cordell Patterson get ate up last weekend, and it was like, okay, this is the definition of insanity. I don't think he's had a run longer than 10 yards all season.
No.
This is week 8.
I'm pretty sure Mitch Trubisky has the longest run of the year.
It's time to ball up that play.
Yeah.
Throw it in the garbage
can. Get rid of that one. We can't run. Like, you can't run. We can't get any push on the offensive line. If you can't do that, you can't run the ball. It's just that simple. David Montgomery's getting the ball in the backfield, and he's having to elude a defender 3 yards deep. That's crazy right now. Like, I'm not even get to the line of scrimmage, let alone beyond it. It's absolutely ridiculous what's happening up front.
How does that affect Nick Foles and the inability to run the ball?
It leaves him as a sitting duck, right? We just talked about the fact that he can't move. So if he's stuck in quicksand, at least if you can change the launch point of where that quicksand is, you give him a little bit of time. You can do some play action, you can do some bootleg. But if you can't run the ball, nobody's buying the play action. Nobody's believing that shit. So they just coming straight in at the quarterback, and he cannot help himself. He cannot move.
I need to see Mitch, man. It's
You don't believe that.
4, 5, 6 plays every week where Mitch Trubisky would have probably gotten first down.
That's real. That's real spit.
Check this comment right here from Marvin Bell. He says, put Trubisky at tight end.
Put Trubisky at tight end. Tight ends aren't the problem right now, though.
But we've seen Taysom Hill with the Saints be able to spread out.
Yeah.
We talking about
he got that in his bag?
We talking about Sean Payton versus what's our head coach? What's his name?
Right.
Super regulation, basic
Swaggy,
thinking.
Nagy.
Stop it, man.
Come on.
Stop it.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to be interesting to see what the game plan is. If we come out, I feel like we're going to run the ball on those first 3 plays. I mean, you know exactly what's going to happen. Like, Nagy is as predictable as it comes. So we got to see what happens at the start of that game, man. Let's jump into a break real quick. We'll be back after we pay some bills. You're tuned in to the Kickoff Kickback.
Trubisky at tight end.
Dame Lillard, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
Hey, this is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks. You're rocking with the Bigs.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people.
Eugene, McIntosh, and Terrence Tomlin. Right here on What's in it for the black people.
You are kicking it with the brothers live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. This is the Kickoff Kickback. I'm your man, Terrence Tomlin. I got my brothers, Eugene, McIntosh, and Herb Howard.
What up?
Riding with me. You know how we do.
Kicking off the kickback.
Before we jump right back into the conversation, I got to send some positive vibes to the Dixmoor Vikings. They're playing for the 12U championship today.
Okay.
We got to send some good vibes, man. My nephew is on the team.
Let's go.
They've been doing their thing for the last couple of years. And the Dixmoor Vikings are ranked nationally as one of the top programs in the entire nation. So we definitely are sending some love to the Dixmoor Vikings.
Shout out to the Dixmoor Vikings, man. Y'all go out there, y'all handle that business today. Get it done, man. Win the game.
It's good in the hood, man. It ain't all bad in the hood, man. Show them shorty some love out there.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Let them know. Good luck, guys. Y'all do y'all thing today.
Hey, shout out to everybody out there watching on Facebook, everybody out there watching on YouTube. We appreciate the love, man. The brothers are officially in the building every Sunday. We got extraordinaire Mays Jackson holding us down behind the scenes.
Mays wears so many hats around this joint.
He
serious. You drive past the studios, you're gonna see the whip outside. It's like, oh yeah, he here every day.
Yeah. Man, say I got enemies. Yo, Jane, hit him with the rules, brother.
Hey, man. It ain't just on the soil when you rocking with the bigs, man. I said what I said on the Mays Jackson show, Milwaukee's World, the Book of Dawn.
Yeah, Trigger
with Mike. And
shout out to your Halloween costume.
You went wild. You went wild.
Hey, I got to do Trigger Mike again, man, because I couldn't, like, the conversation didn't lend itself for me to be Mike enough, so I want to do it again, but it was fun, though.
Oh, man, I definitely got a good laugh out of that one because you're a motherfucking Trigger Mike.
Oh, man, it went wild. I was at the crib crying, laughing like, this boy is nuts. Mike found it funny, so that's how you know you was on point.
Yeah, I had to pull up on Mike at one of his firearms instructors classes, walked into class. He had the shirt sitting to the side for me. He gave me a pistol and everything. Like, here, take this, too.
Just take this one.
Oh, the whole 9. Okay. Shout out to Don with doing the best Maze impression that we saw.
No, that was dope.
Yes, sir.
That was dope. She was a better Maze than Maze. I ain't gonna front though on the Maze Jackson show, man. The morning show, they won the Halloween joint.
Yeah, they cracked.
They snapped. I ain't gonna front. They didn't win none of the other days they've been gassing about winning, but they did win Halloween. They went crazy. The whole squad, Ruthie, Ty, Sonya, they went crazy.
No, I definitely like the. I was ready to pull out my pistol and go to
for real
Mount Greenwood or something.
Better take some backup with you, my G.
T got my back, man.
Oh, come on.
I'm his old stomping ground.
I'm riding with.
We rolling.
Definitely used to spend my summers in Mount Greenwood. I got all the stories. Everything that y'all could possibly think happened. Okay?
I could imagine, but I also couldn't. It's crazy over there.
Hey, man, back to the Bears talk, bro. What?
Yeah.
Going back to what you were talking about, those quotes last week, I found the Darnell Mooney quote very interesting, Herb, when he said, when he was asked about the overthrow by Nick Foles. And it could have tied the game at 10.
Yeah.
And Nick Foles overthrew him by about 5 yards. And he was asked about the frustration in not catching that ball and taking it to the house.
I like that kid, man.
Yeah, and he said, man, I just need to run faster.
I like that kid a lot,
I said, oh, okay. This guy has learned very early.
He understands it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He understands it.
I 100% appreciated him holding Nick Foles down like that.
Because clearly he's the fastest guy on our roster, at least left on our roster without Tariq. He's the fastest guy on our roster, and he got overthrown. So it ain't about him running too fast, right? Not running fast enough,
Right.
The ball was terribly overthrown.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily Nick's fault. He didn't have a whole lot of time to make that throw,
Right.
Yeah.
but he was overthrown. But for
Glad
him
you
to not say, like, yeah, I had my man beat, he just threw it too far. He's like, nah, I got to run fast. I like that kid. I like Jalen Johnson too. Both of those rookies, the rookie cornerback.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them are confident beyond their years. They came in. It was never too big for them. They play with extreme confidence. Jalen Johnson's the same way, and Darnell Mooney's the same way. I like both of those young rookies we got.
You know what? They can't miss Darnell Mooney again. Not the way that he tore up Jalen Ramsey. You feel me? He hit him with the crisp route. That was to the house. You know what I mean? I'm calling a touchdown for Darnell Mooney today. I feel like they got to make up for the 2 times that they should have had him last week for sure.
Hey, I think we got our resident Bears, Bigs, reporter extraordinaire. Go ahead, bring him in, T.
We got some expert action on the way, man. We bring to you now Joseph Lewis. He covers the Bears for the Bigs Media. He will be at Soldier Field today, live from the press box, holding it down for the Bigs like he's been doing all season long.
Joe Lewis, what's happening, brother?
What's going on with y'all?
Oh,
man, wake up, man.
I know it's not a noon game today, but we did get the extra hour.
I had a little extra hour to sleep.
I know we was just we got a little bit too cozy last night. All of us, we enjoyed that extra hour.
For real. Yo, Joe, I gotta ask you one quick question, man, before we hop into the game. You got any cashews on deck with you right now? What's happening?
Nah, not at the moment.
So look, I was watching the press conferences I usually am, and I heard your question come up. You asked your question, and then Charles Leno started going at you about what you was eating and the cashews and whatnot. It was a good little exchange between you and the Bears left tackle. But more interesting than that was something that he said earlier in the press conference when he was asked to assess his own play at left tackle, and the man said, "So far, so good." How did you feel about his self-assessment of his play so far?
I felt insulted. That's what I felt like.
That's what he
Thank
said.
you. Yes. It's like we see those games, brother.
Nigga, did you know I could see you?
Like, fam, you know we watch the same shit, right?
Yes.
That's exactly how I felt. It's like, bro, if he would have said, man, I'm not performing my best, that's cool. Let's be accountable. But he said, so far, so good. I'm like, bro, no. No, you've had great seasons under your belt. I think his contract earned was not a bad contract.
I agree.
Because he played pretty well up to that point. I didn't expect him to play well.
And he shows up every Sunday. He doesn't miss a game.
Exactly. He stayed healthy. But this season, toward the end of last season, no. It's just not looked good. And so when he said that, I'm like, we can physically see you. And it has not looked good. So I saw it. I wanted to ask a follow-up question, but I was so taken aback that I just said, okay.
Right.
It's intriguing.
Joe, what does the offensive line as a whole have to accomplish in this week in order to get a W? Because we were just talking about Darnell Mooney and the 2 times that he got open, but it was obvious that Nick Foles didn't have the time to make those throws. So what does the offensive line have to correct in order to get back on the winning side of things this week?
Oh, man, I wonder to myself if it's even correctable. I mean, the real big thing that they need to do is actually not their concern. The play caller needs to be able to get the ball out of Nick Foles' hands quick because it's clear that they can't hold blocks for that long. And if we force them to try to stay and give, if Nick Foles does a 3-step drop, I don't think, or a longer step drop, I don't think they're going to be able to hold their blocks that long. And they can't constantly have Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, David Montgomery stay in for blocking because it limits them on the offensive side of the ball. They got to be able to have David Montgomery be able to swing up and go to the flats. They need to have Cole Kmet or Jimmy Graham to get in these soft zone areas. So either they chop block, they send help, or you just get the ball out quick. And I think their biggest advantage is getting the ball out quick.
Joe, what do you think about the tight end play so far? Do you think Cole Kmet has gotten the amount of looks, or just the tight ends in general? We were just talking about the goal line offense for Matt Nagy, and it's like, why in the hell ain't Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, and any other tight ends for that matter on the field at the goal line, man? What do you think about the tight end play so far and Nagy's play call?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, the tight end play has been fine. Jimmy Graham has actually been a pleasant surprise.
He has been.
This late in his career to still be able to make significant catches and still be able to hold blocks pretty well. Cole Kmet hasn't gotten nearly enough looks as he can. And when Matt Nagy said, we got to find ways to make sure he gets the ball, I said, you're the coach. Right. Make sure that you are
who is we, white man?
Make sure you are calling plays that he gets the ball. I want to see Cole Kmet become the focus as a tight end, at least on the tight end respect of the ball. That's what Jimmy Graham has said himself in press conferences. So the best thing I need to do is, who's the other tight end? It's Harris. I forgot his first name.
Demetrius, yeah.
We don't want to see him no more.
Yeah, he dropped that ball. I was done with him.
Damn.
All respect to the brother, but no. Let Cole Kmet get the ball more because he is the higher draft pick. This is what he's here for. And let him start to become, a feature. If you want to limit his catches between him and Jimmy, I'm cool with that. But when you try to split catches amongst 3 tight ends, no. Let him become that second tight end and then make his way up to first. And I think the Bears will be in a better position because the best thing you can do to stop a big rushing attack is allow a tight end to get the ball more. Right. I mean, I've seen the Cowboys do it with Jason Witten for years, during his prime or during his heyday, is get the ball out quickly to him.
Yeah.
Joe, what worries me, man, is actually – and Herb touched on it earlier, it's the comments that were made in between games this week. I feel like we're at a point where Nagy is doing his usual don't listen to the media thing, to his guys. He's doing his usual the sky's not falling thing. And based on what's been going on the last couple of years, that usually means the sky is beginning to fall.
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you is this team just right now stubborn? You know what I mean? I'm going to leave that for you to marinate on it. We're going to jump into a break real quick. You're with the Kickoff Kickback live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. You are back at the Kickoff Kickback, live from the West Center for the Media Black People Studios.
Yeah.
You know what we talk about on Sundays. We talk football,
It's
y'all.
football. I'm sitting in the comments, people like, oh, this is what black people need to be talking about. It's a lot of things black people need to be talking about. And if you stay tuned to What's in It for the Black People Media, we bring you that 7 days a week.
Let them know.
Sunday mornings, we talk football. Yes, we do.
Absolutely. At 10 o'clock, we're talking football. We're talking Bears. You're welcome to join us. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in and joined into the conversation. It's busting right now. We got our boy Joe Lewis online.
The real Joe Lewis.
He covers the Bears for the Bigs. Exactly. He's going to be at the press box today. You guys need to stay in tune with Joe as he goes to the press box today and covers the Bears game. Follow It's the Bigs on Twitter. It's at It's the Bigs, ITSTHEBIGS. Let's jump back into the conversation, man. Before we went into the break, I was asking Joe, are the Bears too stubborn to basically right their wrongs? Because we're hearing the usual deflecting from the coach and his players over this last week. They're blaming the media, telling the media to stay out their business, telling the media, don't come to us with that negative stuff. We've heard it all before, Joe. What do you think about that?
I think the Bears are too stubborn because their coach is too stubborn. When I asked simple questions, I believe it was either Kevin Fishbane and Adam Hogue who asked them, hey, will you give up play calling duties if the team continues to not have any sort of spark or consistency on offense? Matt Nagy's answer was, we don't want to focus on negativity and we want to stay positive. And I said, come on, man. I was like, it will be negative for you. But if somehow Bill Lazor gets the offensive call duties and he produces a much more consistent offense, that's not a negative. That's the positive. And if you're in the professional football league, a professional sport, period, you should know that failure, even just in life, period, failure is a great way to learn. It's a great way to say, okay, let me assess what I'm doing wrong and change. But the Bears haven't adapted in I don't know how long under many coaches. And Matt Nagy is as stubborn as it gets. And when the first thing you want to point out is the media is somehow doing this as if they're going on the field and suiting up for you, then I think it's just a big problem. And I haven't seen him adapt in games since maybe his first year here as coach. So I think because he's too stubborn, it's just going to stay the same way. And then they'll go, hey, the sky's not falling, we're 5-2. Sky's not falling, we're 5-3. And eventually they become 5-5 or 5-6. And then I wonder what his response will be. And I hope it's not the same, man, we got to find out what we need to do. You're the coach. You should know what they need to do. You should know how they should change. And it's insulting to hear. So.
Joe, what's your level of concern? Obviously, the offensive line play has been horrid. What's your level of concern with first-year pro, second-year player, I suppose, Sam Mustipher making his first start at center for the Bears?
Oh, God. It's I would say it's about a 4. I don't have enough information on him to know if he'll do bad. Cody White here was the best lineman the Bears had.
Yeah.
When him and James Daniels were playing, I thought they at least made the line a bit more consistent and competitive. But I'm about a 4. And I always look at that first play. How will he handle the snap? How does he look when he's snapping the ball to Nick Foles? How does he look when he's holding that first block? And if he holds himself well, then, But, of course, that's what everybody would think. My first impression is a 4.
I listened to all the coaches. I listened to all his teammates. And the first thing that all of them said was that he was very, very smart. He's very intelligent. And I think there's value in that, especially when you talk about the center. You got to be able to make the right reads, make the right checks, be able to communicate. That's all well and good. I heard no one say that he's a mauler. I had no one say he's a big, bad, tough SOB. And I need to hear those types of things from our offensive lineman, not just that he's intelligent. That's cool, but can he play ball?
Funny thing is, I don't think I've heard that about many Bears offensive linemen since the days of
Big Cat,
since Cal Long, basically. You know
what I'm saying? Exactly. It's been a long time because what I remember that Bears offensive line in 2006 is even if they weren't the most skilled technical wise, they would just maul you off the line of scrimmage.
That's it.
They hit you. They went straight at you. And now, no, it's what his technique's great. He's smart. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Where's the toughness level at?
Right.
And we'll have to see how he does.
Yeah.
Again, man, I think this is. Every time I hear Matt Nagy talk, anytime I see his face, it disgusts me more and more.
Is he going to John Fox, Mark Trestman route?
Please don't. Well, at least his record.
Carlos Santos.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I feel like Matt Nagy
wishes
he stayed in Kansas City.
He's in over his head, man, because, again, for the last 2 weeks, it's been the tale of two people talking. You got the head coach talking, and you got the offensive coordinator talking. When he mentions that, of course, the offense we need to get this thing going. It's like, obviously, that's the offensive coordinator talking. But then you got the guy, well, we're 5-2. Don't let the media fool you, this, that, and the other.
Right.
Now you got the head coach talking, and I think he gets caught up in the midst of both of those during the week, and I don't think he's able to differentiate which one needs to take the back seat when we all know we all watching the same thing, bro. You need to pass the reins, do what you do best, and don't let the ship fall because it's looking like the Titanic right now, man. And I'm telling you, if they don't get rid of the Saints today, it's all bad from here on out, man.
It's definitely going to, the pressure and those walls that's feeling like they're closing in on the Bears is going to get a little bit more tighter if they lose today. But you know what? I want to ask you about, more about Nagy and his decisions with Nick Foles. I feel like Nick Foles brings a different aspect than Mr. Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true veteran quarterback, and lately has not let Nagy off the hook with his BS.
No.
I mean, we've seen them battle during the game. We've seen Nick Foles post-game have to answer questions like, man, I don't even understand some of the play calls that come in because I know they're not going to be successful as soon as they're called.
Right.
How does Nagy get over this hill and understand, what the mission is with this Bears team? I feel like he's still caught up in trying to run his system instead of calling plays that fit the personnel that he has on the field.
I told you, man, for me, that's the sign of a great coach. Your ability to adjust and tailor your game plan for the roster that you have this year, this week, and not be so stuck in, this is my system, this is what I wanted to do. I don't care if that's what you wanted to do. Right now, you have 3 offensive linemen that are absolutely terrible. You got 2 that's just barely hanging on. So, you can't do those things that you want to do. Figure out how to move the ball with the team that you have. That's the sign of a good coach for me. Matt Nagy hasn't shown a willingness or an ability to do so.
And you got to be able to, again, I always go back to people, we saw the Miami Heat. If you look at that roster from top to bottom, they look like a 12 seed.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a guy like Pat Riley and you got guys like Spo who came from the bottom and worked his way to the top, and the organization as a whole, let's not even go back to the organization. Let's not start with the McCaskies.
Yes.
There's an organizational structure there. And I think what the Bears don't do well is hide their weaknesses. Because like we all know, they're not fooling nobody, man.
Great point,
like you said, T.
Great point.
We already know what's going to happen today. First 2 plays of the game, run up the middle. Third play is going to be 3rd and 7.
Exactly.
They're going to try to slant Allen Robinson.
Do you see how familiar? It's like we know that's exactly what's going to happen. You feel me? Joe, I got to ask you the biggest question of today, I feel like. How is that defense going to contain Alvin Kamara?
Oh, God. I mean, the defense is, once again, it's a bend-don't-break defense. And Roquan Smith is able to fly from sideline to sideline. My concern is Danny Trevathan. Danny Trevathan's looked better than the last 2 weeks in terms of his speed and ability to get to the ball, but he still had a subpar season where his speed is reminiscent of a linebacker who's on his way out. So my biggest concern will be if they can fly sideline to sideline. With that being said, they can hold the Saints. The Saints offense isn't so explosive that the Bears cannot hold them. But if they're not getting long, sustained drives from the offense, which I highly doubt will happen, then eventually they'll score. I don't care if it's the 85 Bears or any of the greatest defenses of all time. If they don't get rest, of course the other team will score. It's almost inevitable. Alvin Kamara is very good at catching the ball in space and then making the first person miss and taking it extra 7 to 10 yards. But the best thing they can do to get him, because they're not going to sack Drew Brees as much. The ball gets out of his hands in 2 seconds.
It comes out too fast.
The offense is built on getting the ball out. Drew Brees, he's a legend, but he's also a legendary stat pattern. And so the best thing they're going to do is get the ball to Alvin Kamara's hand. That's fine. But what they should not do this game is give wide receivers or the DBs give maybe 7 to 10 yard splits. They need to be up on the ball. There needs to be some jamming. There needs to be some pressure. And then they need to make sure that they're clearing out not clearing out the flats, making sure the flats are taken care of. Because if not, then Drew Brees is just going to feast. And it's just going to be 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. Then eventually open up with a 15-yard pass. And then it's just going to rinse and repeat. Sean Payton knows how to run those same 8-9 plays, but you can't stop them because they run them too efficiently.
And that's exactly what I said earlier before we brought you on, Joe. I don't think I've seen, and I've watched basically every New Orleans Saints game because I love the way that offense is run. Like you said, Sean Payton is a genius, and again, he does what I just mentioned. He hides their weaknesses and exploits their strengths. Yep. And Drew Brees has not thrown a deep ball all year. Maybe one. I think it was the first week, that first Monday night game they played. He may have thrown one and he overthrew him, but he's made a living this year off of those those dumps and dinks and those 7-yard slants and just hitting that gap right there. It's timing. It's all about the timing. And I think while Drew Brees probably isn't having his best season, low-key, he's had a pretty good season if you look at the numbers.
Especially given the fact that he hasn't had, his number one or two guy for over half of the season.
Yeah. Nah, to James' point, he's completing 73% of his passes, so it's not. I'm not making difficult throws. I'm checking it down to Alvin Kamara. I'm hitting my tight ends. I'm hitting these slants.
Yes, sir.
It's money, and so Alvin Kamara is leading the league in yards from scrimmage. And the Bears defensive coordinator Chuck Pagano said, "Listen, it'll be a good day if we can keep him under 100." And he's right. Like, if you can keep him under 100 all-purpose yards, that's a good day, right? If he don't get over 100, the Bears will win this game. If he's up around $150, the Bears probably won't win this game.
And to more of your point, Gene, I feel like the Bears can't fall asleep on guys like Jared Cook, on guys like Traquan Smith, who Drew Brees has a very good relationship with, even without Michael Thomas on the field. So the Bears are going to have their hands full on both sides of the field. Let's go ahead and get into our prediction from Joe. In the next segment, we're going to jump into our predictions. I'm going to let you guys know how y'all did in week 1. Yeah. If y'all want to. If y'all really want to know.
Yo, check it out. I was looking for y'all. I got to pick my fantasy lineup too, so make sure you give me at least one or two.
I got a couple fantasy players for y'all that should be available, should get y'all over the hump. We'll jump into that in a little bit too. But, Joe, how are you feeling, bro? Are the Bears getting back on the winning side of things?
Wait, can I ask y'all a question before y'all come with y'all picks?
What's good, Herb?
Is this a must-win game for the Bears? Before y'all even say whether they're going to win or lose,
100%.
Is it a must-win game?
100%.
100%. It's a must-win game or a skid's coming, because your next game is what the
Titans. Derrick Henry.
Titans. Yep. And then the Vikings. Of course, the Vikings aren't good, but they're a division opponent, and they always play the Bears tough. So if they lose this, it's a slid coming. Okay. And my prediction is the Bears lose.
I may have to roll an extra win for this Sunday afternoon game after that one there. This is a must-win big game for the Bears in Week 8.
Wow.
At 5-2.
Wow.
Silent.
Can we move to the NFC East?
The awkward silence real quick.
Can we move to the NFC East? We have a 3-game lead.
We'd have been and ran away with the NFC East by now, man.
Joe, are you getting ready to head up to the stadium now? I don't want to keep you if you're about to hit the road.
Yeah, I'm about to get up there and sulk in the inevitability that the Bears are probably going to lose. But, I'm going to get ready to head up there.
All right, for sure, man. Hey, that was Joseph Lewis. We'll let you go, bro. Thank you for joining us on the Sunday Kickoff Kickback, man. We had a good time talking to you.
Appreciate you, Joe. It's a pleasure to watch you work, man. I'm always listening to your questions. You ask great ones. You get good answers, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all, bro. I'll see y'all.
Yes, sir. Stay in tune with Joe. He's going to be holding it down with live tweets from the game today at It's The Bigs on Twitter, ITSTHEBIGS. Go ahead and give us a follow. Are we ready to jump into the picks? I'm sorry, the boss man. He wants those fantasy picks.
He trying to get his roster set. He trying to get his roster set.
These guys let it be known last week that they stay away from the fantasy. And you had great reasons. I was thinking about your reason all week because I spent Thursday like shit. I like some of these teams, but I gotta go against my nature because of fantasy money on the line. Right?
It's an interesting way to watch the game for sure.
Here's some quick hits for you guys, okay? Because my personal team is on a bye. I got a bunch of players on bye. The Cardinals are on bye, so I don't have Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, so you get to experiment a little bit this week.
Exactly. I had to kind of dig in the free agent pool and see if it was anything worthwhile. And to my surprise, it was.
Who was there?
I picked up Jimmy Garoppolo, porn star Jimmy.
Jimmy G.
I'm starting him at quarterback, and I also picked up Brandon Ayuk. It's going to be his number one receiver this week because our boy, Debo Samuel is out this week.
Wow.
They're missing Raheem Mostert. Yeah, Raheem Mostert. Yeah. So I'm looking at those two guys going against the Seattle Seahawks defense, which is absolutely terrible.
Trash. But Russell Wilson is going to put up 45 on them people.
That's great because they don't have to go against the 49ers offense. I'm calling a big game from Jimmy Garoppolo and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. Okay. If you can find a way to get your hands on Jimmy Garoppolo or Brandon Ayuk, stop what you're doing right now.
Go get them.
Go pick those guys up. You don't have to take an L this week. take Terrence's advice and go ahead and pick those guys up. I'm gonna let y'all know how they did next week. After I pick up another W, if I win again, I'll be 7-1 in my money league. Come on, sitting at the top, y'all. Who better than to take advice from somebody that's sitting in first place? Right?
Man, I think that's some luck shit.
He's setting us up. He's setting us up for what he finna do about these picks. That's all he doing right now.
We're gonna take a break real quick. We're getting back into these picks on the other side of this one. You're kicking it with the brothers at the Kickoff Kickback.
So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts, cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land
your voice will be heard.
Your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have to create a more perfect union.
Change will happen.
And so all men of goodwill will go to the polls on November the 3rd. And I hope we will have a great day in our nation so that when we wake up on the 4th of November, we will know that America has made the right decision.
Mark your calendars for What's in It for the Black People Media special election night coverage. This is the nation's only culturally specific digital platform that respects the black community's diverse viewpoints. We're here for you. The only place to stay on top of 2020 election night coverage is on the Maze Jackson page on Facebook and Maze Jackson on YouTube. It all starts Tuesday night at 7.
You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote.
Players that stay on paper, that's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day when we display what we made of. The game can never change us, the West Side teaches. On the streets where you find that D before G. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it.
You are live at the Kickoff Kickback, kicking it with myself, my brothers Eugene, McIntosh, and Herb Howard.
What's good?
It's time to get down to business. This was what I've been excited for all week.
Here you go.
It's time to pick the teams, man. No more straddling the fence. We got to pick a side.
Charged up.
He's supercharged, ain't he?
He's charged up.
I'm charged up because I got to let y'all know how y'all did last week in our first round of picks. Are y'all ready for that?
Man, you need to finish that beer. Jay already said you babysitting, man.
Jay, come on.
Man,
I got like a swallow left. Come on, I'm babysitting now.
Shout out to Mimi, too. Mimi said we need more than an hour, brothers. We might have to figure out how to stretch this to at least 2. May's talking about stretch it to 3. We got to stretch it to at least 2, though.
Yeah, I feel like we got to stretch it to at least 2. Take y'all right up to kickoff. So we can, talk a little bit more about some of the games going on in the week because we're about to do a little bit of a rapid fire pick session.
Come on with it.
But let me kick this off. Gene, are you ready to find out how you did? Do y'all want the good news or the bad news
just
first?
Run the numbers,
Come on
man.
with it, man. Tell us how many games you ahead of us,
Straight up,
man.
Joe. Damn, man.
All right, I'm going from 3-1, man. Coming in the third place at a record of 6-7 last week in their picks. My man Herb Howard.
Whoa.
6 and 7.
Somebody got to be 7.
All that high tech analysis and that's a gun in your face, and that's all you can come up with.
You took a couple of risks that didn't pay off for you.
Like the Bears?
Yeah, we all took it.
We all took that.
We all took L on that. But you changed your pick at the last second from the Bucks to the Raiders.
Went with the Raiders. They got smacked.
Would have been a 50, 500 would have been cool.
Right.
But you're sitting at 6-7. We'll
okay.
see how good you still come back.
I gotta give y'all a little head start, man. It's
Okay, cool. I like that. Got a comeback kid, maybe. Gino.
Come on.
Coming in at 8-5 in second place.
I'm decent.
Oh, that's solid.
You came in with a couple of picks that were strong. Shout out to you. You did good. I don't know if you had any money on that, but we'll see how you do this week, right?
Hey, man. Don't even start.
Without further ado.
I might blow this studio up.
Come on.
Without further ado.
Come on.
My bad, man. It's my bad. Let me keep that to myself, man.
Without further ado. Come on, man.
I'm only a gamer in front of Gene. I finished 9-4 on the week because I stood alone. Like y'all said, Gene, you're right on my tail. I got to come strong this week.
You took Pittsburgh over Tennessee, didn't you?
That Tomlin energy. I tried to tell y'all.
That was solid.
I tried to tell y'all. It was a bunch of close games last week. It was. That Lions-Falcons game came down to the wire.
Yep.
The Titans and
the Steelers.
Pitt, and the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals game. That Browns game was good.
Right.
I needed the Browns to pull that out. My week would have been even worse if the Browns didn't pull that out.
Ooh.
So without further ado, are you guys ready to go ahead and get it cracking for this week?
All right, let me give you my real picks this time.
All right, I'm pulling up the games. I'm using my DraftKings app this week. All right, let's. You guys ready?
We ready.
Let's go.
All right. I hope the viewers are ready. Go ahead and throw your picks into the comments.
Because we keeping up with y'all picks too, low key. Don't come on here stunting.
Mike Love did his thing last week from the comments.
Yeah, from the comments.
Definitely did his thing last week. Let's go. Game 1, y'all. Vikings versus Packers.
Vikings versus Packers. They got the Packers minus 5.5.
You know, Gino talked that cash shit. He want to find out what the bet line at.
Minus 5.5 Green Bay. I'm definitely taking Green Bay minus 5.5 over Minnesota in Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm taking Green Bay, period.
Green Bay as well. I think that's an easy one right there. That's a layup for us.
Yeah.
Next game. Tennessee Titans versus Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals been knocking on the door, but unfortunately they got the Tennessee Titans on the other side this week. I don't know about that one, y'all. How y'all feeling? Herb, let me know.
Yeah, they can knock on the door all day. They ain't getting in.
They ain't getting
Tennessee.
in at all.
Tennessee
is vicious, man. And no lead is safe with those guys. The Bengals had 2 opportunities to come up with a unlikely win over the last 2 weeks. It's not going down this week versus the Titans. Another Bengals across the Titans across the board.
Across the board.
Tennessee minus 6.5 in Cincinnati. I think the Bengals defense stinks. So I'm going to give Derrick Henry might run up a 2-piece on them people today.
It could get nasty for the Bengals.
He might.
Next game, we're looking at the Rams, who tore up the Bears last week, versus the Dolphins, who have a new quarterback. Shout out to Tua.
Listen, man, I hope the young boy has a good career, but it ain't going to start today. Not against Aaron Donald and them boys. It's not happening. I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
I'm taking the Rams minus 3 in Miami. Like, I agree with Herb. I like Tua. Shout out to him for overcoming the serious injury.
They said it was over for him.
No, it ain't never over with. So shout out to Tua, but like Herb said, it ain't happening today.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, y'all. Because I'm taking the Dolphins in this game.
Solo Dolo.
Here we go, Dolo.
The Dolphins offense has been surprisingly good. Yes, they did it with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. I'm feeling like Tua is going to come in and feel like he has enough to at least feel comfortable in this game. One, I'm calling an upset. The Dolphins are going to beat the LA Rams.
Okay. You solo on that, even in the comments.
Okay, come on, y'all know how I stand.
The kickback fam rolling with us. You solo Dolo.
I'm Dolo T. Y'all can go ahead and dominate
Dolo
the
T.
nickname
I dig that.
Let's do it.
I dig that.
This next game could be the game of the week. This game means a lot to me, okay?
Okay, who you got?
The Ravens versus the Steelers. I went to Morgan State, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I know what this week means.
Yeah.
I know people been waiting on this game. Households ain't talked to family members all week. This is the best rivalry in the game right now.
I agree.
Herb.
I got to go Steelers, man. I lost on against them last week. Mike Tomlin, my favorite coach. They ball and they 6-0. Their defense is almost impenetrable, man. I got to go with the Steelers.
The Steelers are nasty. Gene, how you feeling?
Baltimore minus 4 at home. I'm not sure I would take the minus 4, but I'm definitely taking the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with LJ, man. Busting that defense down like a borrowed off 75th and Stewart. And it's going down. It's going skew. Sorry, all the women on
75th and Stewart?
Yeah.
Sorry to all the bust downs on 75th and Stewart.
But yeah, I'm going LJ, man.
Okay.
First loss of the year for the Steelers.
Let me tell you something. I can feel my Baltimore family staring at me right now because they know I'm going with the Ravens, man. They're my second home.
Okay.
If it's not Bears, I'm Ravens.
Homer.
I'm thinking the Ravens are gonna come out with a big W today.
So I'm Dolo today. I'm Dolo on this one.
Yeah, you Dolo on that one.
Let's go Steelers.
Good luck, man.
Hold me down, G.
Next game, Raiders versus Browns. Browns are without Odell Beckham Jr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's gone for the season.
Yeah.
How are y'all feeling about that one?
Baker Mayfield's too up and down. They won last week. They're going to lose this week. Give me the Raiders.
Okay.
Browns minus 1.5 at the crib. I agree with her, man. Baker Mayfield is one of them guys. He like the Phillip Rivers of young guys. You know, 1 week he's up, the next week he's down. He might put up big numbers, but I'm going with the Raiders.
Okay.
The Raiders.
This is another one I'm standing alone with y'all. I'm definitely picking the Cleveland Browns in this one. I feel like the loss of Odell Beckham is
Dolo
like
T strikes again.
You feel me? They're gaining something with the loss of Odell Beckham. I feel like Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback without him on the field.
Okay, I see the logic.
I do see that.
I see the logic.
Okay, next game, Jets versus Chiefs. I know how y'all feel. I can write Chiefs in for this one.
What?
Right.
J-E-T. No, sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
No, sorry.
Okay.
No,
I
sorry.
thought, okay.
I ain't got that. I ain't
You
that
see,
tough.
I had to do the quick
I ain't
one.
that tough.
They
Okay.
offer, ain't they?
They
That's an
offer.
offer.
It's going
They
down.
trying to get Trevor
We're looking
Lawrence,
at a
G.
winless season.
They trying to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they are.
Trevor Lawrence is like, I got COVID. I can stay. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have to
Please
come
don't
out.
send me to New York.
Yeah.
Kansas City minus 19.5 at the crib. I damn near would
I can
take
take that
that.
10 and a half.
They're going to beat them by at least a dub. I'll take that.
Okay.
Okay, definitely Chiefs. Just don't stand a chance today.
27-7 at least.
Oh, and Le'Veon Bell is on the other side. We could get some payback.
Okay.
Next game, Patriots versus Bills. Division game. Now, I feel like the Patriots versus Bills game is always a little bit cracking. Cam Newton is looking like...
Scam Newton?
He's looking more like Scam so far this year. The Patriots definitely don't look at all like the Patriots we're used to seeing.
And ain't no Julian Edelman, right?
Nope.
Julian Edelman is on the injured reserve.
He got at least 3 weeks.
I can't tell you who the next wide receiver is over there or running back.
They got N'Keal Harry, but I'm not even sure if he's playing.
Yeah, they're busted up in New England right now, bro.
Yeah, man. I always thought that Belichick was more responsible for the dynasty than Brady. That's in question right now.
It is.
Because with Brady, they look real trash right now. I got to go Bills.
Bills minus 4 at the crib. I don't care if they were minus 10 at the crib. I'm taking Buffalo and Josh Allen.
I'm taking Buffalo as well. Yeah. Shout out to the Griselda boys. I'm always showing love.
Butch, what up, man? Hey, man.
Clean sweep. That album fire.
Butch, what up, Joe?
That album is fire.
What up, Butch? I feel you, Gene. Next game, y'all. Colts versus Lions. Okay, we talked a little bit about the Lions, and they are the Lions. They're sitting at 3-3. A lot of people thought they were huff after week 1 versus the Bears, but they look good to me. How are y'all feeling, Colts versus Lions?
Colts
minus 3 in Detroit. Detroit, did they pull it out last week versus Atlanta?
Versus Atlanta, though. Come on.
No, they lost. They didn't pull it out.
No, the Lions did pull it out.
They pulled it out at the buzzer.
They scored the last-second touchdown to win.
Yep, touchdown.
Who the Falcons just beat then?
They beat Carolina Thursday.
Okay, that's what it was. My bad. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm tweaking. Yeah.
Man, I hate Phillip. And hate is a strong word. I really dislike Phillip Rivers, but I'm not going to go against Phillip Rivers today.
Phillip Rivers is the whitest black quarterback. He got 12 kids.
He talked
all
cash
about
money
one
shit
woman,
too.
though.
All about one woman.
Take his black card.
Okay,
y'all bogus. Why y'all get me on the
12 kids, you at least 2 baby mamas.
Y'all ain't right.
That's an old school black family. Shout out to Joe Jackson and the way they used to do it then. Hey, Chargers versus Broncos. Rapid fire. Let's get these.
Chargers
versus Broncos. Chargers minus 3 in Denver. If it's snowing out there, it could get ugly for the Chargers.
That's true. Them LA boys ain't ready for that.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Justin Herbert is on a tear. I'm liking him as offensive rookie of the year.
I like that kid.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Clean sweep again.
Here we go, y'all. Saints versus Bears.
The Saints minus 5 at Soldier Field. First time the Saints are outside of a dome. I'm going Drew Brees. Sorry, Bears fans. Bear down.
Give me Akeem Hicks and them boys to shut down Drew Brees and the movement. I'm taking the Bears. I'm going to say Bears 23-17.
I'm solo dolo today, huh?
Old quarterbacks don't fare well against this Bears defense. I don't think Drew Brees has enough to avoid the pressure that the Bears are going to put on him. The Bears get back in the winning side of things, even though I'm kind of scared making that's
I know
my
you
most
are.
shaky pick of the week.
I know you ain't putting no bread on it.
Gino
no
is
bread is
solo
going on this
dolo.
one. This is all about my emotions. Real quick, y'all. 2 more games. We got the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Andy Dalton is not playing.
Eagles.
So I don't know who the hell the quarterback for the Cowboys
His name
is.
DiNucci?
Yeah, it's not happening.
He's trash. Give me the Eagles.
I'm taking
They
the
getting
Eagles
healthy
as well.
too.
The Eagles minus 10.5 in Philly. I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, they getting healthy. They get Jason Peters back and a couple other guys.
I'm taking Philly as well. The Monday night game, y'all. Tom Brady and the Bucks versus the New York Giants.
Tampa Bay minus 12.5 in New York. Danny Dimes is Danny Huff tomorrow. Give me the GOAT, Tom Brady and company.
Got to go with TB12, man. The Bucks all day.
The Bucks are heating up, and next week they get Antonio Brown back.
AB.
Hey, man, look out for Brady and the Bucks. It could get nasty this week.
Especially after the Saints lose. They could be in first place for the Bucks.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady, hey, I'm sure the Patriots miss him now. I'm going with the Bucks. I'm seeing a lot of people are agreeing with y'all picks. A few of us are standing alone on a few things.
I got to make my comeback this week, man.
You definitely got to make a comeback.
I'm on your heels.
I'm sitting at top, so I ain't got to call nobody out. Like our boy Tank said last night. So I'm waiting on y'all to come
Ooh, he
at me
dropped
one by
that
one,
boy.
right?
Woo.
Tank said ain't no safety on this Glock.
Ain't
man.
no safety on this Glock. That
That
was
left
the
uppercut
quote of the
was
year.
vicious.
That was greasy.
Quote of the year.
That was greasy.
Hey, shout out to everybody that tuned in this week, man. Thank y'all for listening to me and my brothers Herb Howard, Eugene McIntosh. I'm Terrence Tomlin. You just tuned in to the Kickoff Kickback live on the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. We'll catch y'all next Sunday, man. Y'all enjoy the first day of November.
Pull up, roll up, and we out.